So before we begin, I would like to introduce what is social constructivism. It is basically learning through social context, and it's by Vygotsky. It's an interaction through learners with other people, discovering and transforming complex information and making it their own. So over here we have one of the ICT tools that I will introduce in this assignment. This one is called Quizalize. It is available on laptops and any mobile devices, so there are no setup or downloads required. They just have to log in as a student or a teacher, and they will have different interfaces. In Quizalize, the teachers are able to go through the database that they have of the ready-made quizzes. So they can say if the teacher is teaching design and technology, then they can go through that subject and see what is available for them. And so to make this quiz more engaging, this Quizalize creates a game on the whiteboard, which is going to be shown in front of the class. And this is basically learning through games and achievements. And the teachers will be able to access who needs help, what they need help with, and see the progress of each student. What I found interesting in this Quizalize is that they categorize into 3 groups. And so with this, it will be easier for the teacher to give an extension activity or a follow-up. So say the strong students, if they're doing really well, the teacher could provide like an open-ended question for them to research on their own to promote deeper thinking. Or if they are struggling, the teacher could provide like a YouTube video to assist the thinking and to make sure that they know the necessary steps to answer the questions. So free is you pretty much get the main thing, the dashboard, live game, online support, results, but you only get 3 classes and up to 5 activities only. And so if you are teaching more than 3 classes, you might not have enough quota for it. Teacher premium, you pay per teacher monthly, but you have unlimited classes and activities, and you can also export the results, which will be useful for you as a teacher to assess and look back into the activity and see how well the students have done. School and district will be $2 per student per annum, and it includes everything that I've said before, but also training and implementation, insights, and admin dashboards. So overall, I think Quizalize is a great ICT tool for the year 7 to 10. Students at this age are easily distracted and need to put an effort to just focus. And so with the playful nature of Quizalize, it will benefit both the students and the teachers with a heightened engagement in learning. So with the interactive game, the mixed modal preferred learning styles such as visual, written, reading, and kinesthetic learners will be very much engaged in the game. After the informal assessments, the program automatically groups the students into 3 groups in which the teacher can provide feedback and follow-up resources to further their learning. So I want to show a snippet of this video explaining Quizalize, and it basically demonstrates what the student sees and what the teacher sees at the same time. Since the Quizalize is an in-class activity with teacher supervision, the safety issues are covered, and it ensures that all students are participating and focused in the tasks. Contents are created by the educators and teachers, so safety is at no concern. So for the effective usage of Quizalize, the teacher should implement this throughout the term, I think, with the use of gradebook. And the teacher can not only monitor the understanding and learning of only one subject or one quiz, but they will be able to see the improvements of the students over the term. Yep, and so the teacher can use this in all aspects of their teaching, whether to recall or refresh memories that they've learned from last class, or to test the students whether they've listened well, or to test the knowledge and understanding gained and to see if the learning outcome has been met.
Although students are individually answering the questions, like the ones you see here, the game takes the students into groups. So you can see here the green and the red group. To win the opposing group, or in another group's game scenario that they have here at Quizalize, they have to win against the computer.
And so with this cooperation as a group, all students are contributing to the classroom learning and engagement. So this is Scoodle, which is another ICT tool that I'm going to introduce for this assignment. This Scoodle is based in Australia, and it provides 20,000 digital resources, as it says here. And the what's special is that it is aligned to the Australian curriculum. And then so the teachers can search through their keyword of their subject, or even use the Australian curriculum code that they're following in their lesson plan to see what available resources there are out there. And so this is free for all Australian educators, and students can access information shared by the teachers. The students can come in here, click this student login, and they will enter the PIN that is provided by the teacher, and the teacher would then have a list of resources that the students can access to. It says, so I can browse through the Australian curriculum. So say if I'm teaching visual arts, so they have interactive resource, tablet friendly, image,
audio, video, collection, teacher resource, assessment resource, data set, text, and mobile app. So you can choose this according to resource, and so the details just go into depth of what this snippet is. And if you go to the resource, it goes to another page, which is outside Scoodle.
Overall, I think this is a great ICT resource for the teachers to make sure their course and lesson planning are on task and achieving the Australian curriculum standards. Students can also use these resources aligned to their lesson outcome to improve their learning. For they have several resource types here. And so these resource types will cater to the diverse learners of the students, and they will touch on the multiple intelligences as Gardner's finding. And in terms of other diversities, if they click onto the resource, it actually exports out of Scoodle, and so teachers have to implement their own pedagogy onto it and make sure that it suits the students that they are teaching. So in terms of safety, contents provided in Scoodle have been approved by the Australian curriculum, and therefore contents are safe for viewing to the students. However, with these resources that are external resources, like I mentioned before, it clicks to go outside Scoodle, there is a potential for the students to misuse the ICT. I think the teachers should go through this ICT at the beginning of their unit planning, so they can provide the correct resources to the students for the correct lesson outcomes of their classes. So in terms of the social constructivism point of view, it's not really, yes, it provides videos that teachers could play in class for all the students, but it doesn't necessarily promote any activities in between the students that will enable them to progress further with each other's influences. So maybe to prevent this from being too static or individual, teachers may encourage group or paired discussions to enhance the students' learning based on the resources provided by Scoodle. So this will be the third ICT that I'm going to introduce. It's called Nearpod. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. This was voted the #1 hottest EdTech tool of the 2018. And the first part is towards the teachers. So the teachers can go through the database that's already existing in the library, and they can also edit in and out the information according to their lesson planning. And so in this Nearpod, what I found very interesting is that they have virtual field trips, 3D objects, and even quizzes, polls, and open-ended questions that can be highly engaging for the students. And so they, as I've mentioned before, they have a lot of pre-existing lessons contributed by the educators or the educational partners. But if it doesn't meet your needs, then the teachers can also customize their lesson. So this is like an live teaching. Whatever the teacher puts on the main lesson, it will go live stream towards their laptops, tablets, or mobile phones. The students will participate, and they will also have a result and analysis that it will be generated for the teachers to have a look at it afterwards. And so it enables 100% student participation, because even if they are shy to raise their hands up in the class, they can still participate within the mobile devices. And they'll also have a time for themselves to absorb as much as they need in the content. They will not have like a time restriction, and they have their own exploration of the topic. And so this increases the engagement in between the subject and the student, and it will also increase different kind of multiple intelligences that the student prefer to learn in. So I would like to just look a little bit more into the details of the lessons that they provide. So they have exclusive contents, and these are mostly paid ones. And they have the VR tours and exploration. So these might be good for geography lessons, or if they learn about this local area or underwater, all these things, they could use a virtual reality tour to immerse themselves into the environment of learning. And so there are different KLAs that they provide as well: science, math, social. And then some of them are by specific publishers and Nearpods, and they also introduce some holidays and events of not only in Australia but also around the world. So I would also like to introduce just briefly the pricing, because it is very an in-depth software. It comes with a price, but for the silver, which is a free one, you can actually hold quite a lot of class size, storage space, and lesson size, and it has the basic features of polls, interactive quizzes, and open-ended questions. But if you move up and upgrade to a gold, which is $120 per year, you can use more of the system, such as assigning homework, creating field trips, and other interactive activities, and they have more available storage and lesson sizes for you. And for the platinum, $349 per year, it provides you with almost all of the features that they have. And lastly, for the school and district, it will be another pricing that you have to contact, but this will be ideal. This or platinum will be ideal for this if you want to have the most effective system for your school and your classes. So in the student's perspective, they just click onto the student, and the teacher has to provide the code to join a lesson, and then it will live stream onto their screens. So overall, I think Nearpod looks very promising as an ICT tool, both for the benefit of the students and the teachers. It also considers heavily on the constructive learning for the students, as in not everything is one-to-one directed by and instructed by the teachers. They also create a space for the student to explore and move at their own pace to deepen their knowledge and understanding of the topic. And in terms of diverse learners, like I've mentioned here before, so it provides an extensive interactive lessons that will meet the needs of diverse learning. It initiates collaborative activities, auditory learning, self-learning, immersive learning, tangible, visionary, linguistic learning, and encourages deep and higher order thinking through the informal assessment and activities. And with the reports, the teachers are able to look back and see the progress of the students. Moreover, the students have a choice, if given by the teacher, to conduct their learning at their own time, at their own pace. This will benefit the slow learners who will require more time outside the classroom. So as with Quizalize, these activities are monitored live by the teachers, which means 100% participation from the students, and they are always on task. And by keeping the students busy with the material, the contents curated by the educational companies and teachers alike, the students are safe from any ICT harm. Yep. Pod is great in many ways. It could be easily used. So looking through the social constructivism, Nearpod allows all the students and teachers to work together to achieve the same learning outcome. Nearpod provides collaborative opportunities for the students to interact between each other and to learn and grow from one another. So with these combined, this will engage students more with the subject that they are learning, and it will enhance their learning altogether.